Now we are going to see Kingdom Monera. Bacteria and some of the blue-green algae belongs to this Kingdom Monera. How they classify Kingdom Monera? All the organisms which do not have a definite nucleus with a nuclear membrane are kept under Kingdom Monera. Most of the organisms are bacteria, so we are going to see about bacteria here. The size, it is microscopic, measured in microns. Then if you take the shape, it is spherical shape cocci, rod shape bacilli, spiral shape, that is like spray, spirilla, comma shape vibrio. Cocci, if they are seen two together, Diplococcus. If they are seen in chain, Streptococcus. If they are seen as mass, Staphylococcus. So on the base of the shape, their bacteria are classified like this: spherical shape cocci, rod shape bacilli, spiral shape spirilla, comma shape vibrio. Then general structure. Whether it is a cocci or bacilli or spirilla, generally bacteria will be having this general structure. It has a cell wall. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. All the prokaryotes, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. It is not like with the cellulose. Then the cell wall is covered by a capsule. It has spiny projections called villi. Villi are useful in reproduction. Then it has long whip-like structures called flagella. They may have flagella, they may not have flagella, okay? So on the base of the flagella also we can classify them. That in higher classes you will study. Then it encloses, the cell wall encloses cytoplasm. Cytoplasm will not have any membrane bound cell organelle like ribosomes, mitochondria. Like that, these bacteria will not be having membrane bound. Not only bacteria, all the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are the organisms which do not have the definite nucleus with a nuclear membrane. All the prokaryotes will not have membrane bound cell organelles. Then in the cytoplasm it has single strand of DNA. Okay, strand of the DNA. It is not covered by, so nuclear material is seen in the cytoplasm. It is not covered by a nuclear membrane. Okay, so it is called nucleoid. Okay, some bacteria, in addition to this nucleoid, one circular DNA is there, and this circular DNA is called a plasmid. You must know this term because biotechnology in higher classes you will be studying about this plasmid. This plays a very important role. Molecular vector. So this is the general structure. Cell wall covered by a capsule. It has villi, flagella, and nucleoid. Some will be having plasmid. So we have finished the structure. Next comes nutrition. Bacteria, nutrition, two types of nutrition seen in bacteria. Nutrition in bacteria takes place two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic, they can prepare their own food. Autotrophic can be either photosynthetic or chemosynthetic. Photosynthetic, they use bacterial chlorophyll and prepare their own food. Chemosynthetic, they use chemical energy for preparing their food. To take heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their food. The bacteria which are heterotrophs, they may be parasitic, saprophytic or symbiotic. Parasitic, they depend upon other living organisms for food. So such bacteria are parasitic bacteria. Then saprophytes, they live on dead organic matter and utilize energy from that. Such bacteria are saprophytic bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria, they live in the other living organism. Mutual benefits. It will get benefit from the organism and it will give the benefits to the organism in which it lives. So a relationship seen between the two organisms where both are mutually benefited is called symbiosis. That symbiosis is seen in bacteria. These symbiotic bacteria live mainly in root nodules of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants, beans, peas, all the plants which produce their fruit as legumes. If you take that, uproot the leguminous plants, you can see the roots having notch-like structure, root nodules. We take the section of the root nodules and keep it under the microscope and observe it. You can find the bacteria in the root nodules. Okay? And what this bacteria are doing? It is giving shelter. The plant is giving shelter for the bacteria. The bacteria, in turn, it absorbs the atmospheric nitrogen and fixes it in the soil as soil nitrogen, which is required by the plants. So, nitrogen fixing bacteria. The symbiotic bacteria live in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. It absorbs the atmospheric nitrogen and fixes it in the soil, providing to the plants. Plants require nitrogen. Okay. In turn, the plants are providing shelter and nourishment to the bacteria. So, both are benefited. Such bacteria are said to be symbiotic in nutrition. Then next, if you take respiration. Bacteria lay two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. In the presence of oxygen, the bacteria which can survive in the presence of oxygen are aerobic bacteria. The bacteria which can survive in the absence of oxygen, anaerobic bacteria. And some bacteria, whenever oxygen is there, it will act as aerobic. Whenever the oxygen is not present, is absent or very less, it will become anaerobe. So such bacteria are said to be facultative anaerobes. Okay. So these are the three types of respiration seen in bacteria. Next comes the reproduction. All the prokaryotes reproduce amitosis. Amitosis, mitosis and meiosis. These are the three types of cell division. In mitosis and meiosis, in higher classes you are going to study, it takes place in stages. But in amitosis, the cell just divides into two. Okay. So, binary fission, single cell divides into two. It just divides into two, binary fission. Then, if the food is plenty, this again will undergo division. This one divides into two and again that one divides into two. So, that is multiple fission. Okay. Binary fission, multiple fission. Suppose, if the bacteria is not having the favorable condition, it will produce a thick coat over the cell wall. That time it is called as endosperm. So inside there, till the favorable condition comes, it will be there. It will produce number of spores or it will stay as it is. When the condition is favorable, it will come, it will be active. Okay. So, binary fission, endosperm formation and multiple fission. Then conjugation. I said some bacteria will be having plasmid, some bacteria will not be having plasmid. So, They can be classified as gram positive, gram negative on the base of the strain, and if they have the factor that is plasmid, it is positive, and those who are not having the factor, they are said to be negative. So such two types of bacteria will come and they form the pili. When we were discussing about the structure, I mentioned pili. With the help of the pili, they form a conjugation tube. Through this, the exchange of nuclear material takes place. Okay? So this type of reproduction is called as conjugation. So in this, size, shape, structure, nutrition, respiration, reproduction. Next we are going to see the economic importance of bacteria. Now, economic importance of bacteria. They have useful as well as harmful bacteria. What are the useful things we are getting from the bacteria? Very simple thing. At home, it is changing milk into curd, curdling of milk. Only with the help of the bacterial action, we are getting curd. Then, preparation of cheese, butter, all these due to bacterial actions. Then, in industries, it is used for retting of fiber. That is, fiber is seen in the plants, and it is very difficult to separate the fibers, xylem fibers from the plant. So what they will do, the fiber yielding plants, jute plants, they will soak the plant, the fiber yielding plant, the stem, in the bacterial solution. So this bacteria will decay everything except the fiber. So after some time, if they take, only the fiber will come, then they will bleach, strain and use it for various preparation of various products. Okay, that is called retting of fiber. Then curing of tea. Tea leaves, green teas, they won't be having much color or the flavor. The color and flavor, to give color and flavor, they will cut the tea leaves and they'll keep it in the dark room, spray bacteria solution. This bacteria solution ferment the tea leaves. That gives the golden color and the flavor for the tea leaves. It will increase the flavor and color. That is called curing of tea. Canning of leather. We all know that we are getting leather from the skin of the animals. So the skin contains all the muscles and the blood vessels, nerves, everything together, and hair. So everything together as skin. It is called a hide. So they will soak that one in the bacterial solution. It will destroy, it will decay everything, leaving the thick leather. Then they will take it from the bacterial solution and polish it, used for preparing various leather goods. Okay, that is tanning of leather. Then antibiotic for preparation of medicine. We are taking ampicillin. We are taking crocin. It is an antibiotic. For preparation of antibiotic, they are using bacteria. Okay. Then vaccine, preparation of vaccine also, bacteria are used. These are the useful bacteria in medicine. These are the industries. Then nitrogen fixation, already we have seen. Symbiotic bacteria fix the nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Okay, and provide it for the plant to get the to grow well. So what they will do, they will grow, then nitrogen fixing bacteria will be there in the leguminous plants. So, they will grow the leguminous plants as mixed crops. Okay, so they will mix and cultivate these leguminous plants along with other crops. So the nitrogen fixation will be sometimes rotation, crop rotation. One season leguminous plants, the next season the other plants, non-leguminous. So continuously the nitrogen is fixed in the soil. Nitrogen fixation is done by the bacteria. Then in biotechnology, when we were discussing about the structure of bacteria, is a plasmid, a circular DNA is seen in some bacteria. That plasmid, it acts as a molecular vector. They will in biotechnology, genetic engineering, they will remove all the defective genes and introduce the effective genes. For that they will cut the DNA strand and introduce it. For introducing and multiplication of this DNA strand, they are using this plasmid in the bacteria. So it is used in the biotechnology. Next, biological control. One more important function of bacteria is, see, removing the waste, digesting the waste. It will decay all the waste substances so that it will not be stinking. Okay, waste will not be dumped over there because of the bacterial action only. In the ocean, as they take the shape, all these petroleum products will be seen on the ocean as coal tar balls, and very difficult to clean this one, ocean, we cannot clean it. So they found a particular bacteria, it is called superbug. So as they go, they will spray this superbug. They will spray superbug on the ocean, surface of the ocean. What this will do, it will digest the crude oil seen on the ocean and remove all these crude oil tar balls and all. Okay. Then so that the light can penetrate into the ocean water and the organisms which are there in the ocean can get the light, get the oxygen supply. Okay, so this is how it is removing the superbug bacteria, remove and digest all the crude oil in the ocean itself. Very big cleaning. Okay. So that is done by the biological control is done by the bacteria. All these are the useful part of bacteria. Each one is having both the sides, two sides, useful as well as harmful. So harmful bacteria, food spoilage. Bacteria is present everywhere. So if we keep our food open, it will contact the food and it will spoil. It will undergo chemical reactions. So it is spoiling the food spoilage. It will decay the food items and the vegetables, fruits. They get rotten. Then diseases. It causes diseases in plants, animals and human beings. In plants, it causes various diseases, bacterial diseases in plants. Very simple example I am telling. Now we are using more lemon. So when you go to shop and buy lemon, you must see that there should not be any brown patches on the lemon. If it has, that means the lemon is obtained from the plant which got bacterial disease, citrus canker. If we consume such lemon, we will get those who are having strong digestive system, okay. Those who are having small children and all, those who are having a weak digestive system, definitely it will affect the digestive system. Okay, so citrus canker is a bacterial disease. Then in animals, it causes diseases, and in human beings, typhoid caused by Salmonella typhi bacteria, cholera caused by Vibrio cholerae, it's a bacteria. Okay, all these diseases are caused by bacteria. So it causes diseases and food spoilage. Then very simple thing is botulinum, a disease called botulinum, soft drinks. Bacteria is present in that. If we consume that, definitely we will get problem. Okay, so if you go for the during summer season, if you go for the cool drinks, be very careful. Try to avoid it. Okay, so bacteria, if it is present there in the botulinum bacteria present there, definitely it will affect our health. Okay. So all these are the useful as well as harmful phase of bacteria. So with this we are finishing Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera, we have seen about bacteria, all their shape, size, structure, reproduction, respiration and economic importance. Okay. So next we are going to see the next kingdom is Protista. Okay. Kingdom Fungi. Fungi, we are going to see, so far we have seen unicellular, which do not have the diptych nucleus and which have the diptych nucleus. That is kingdom, the previous one we have seen Monera, Protista. Now fungi includes unicellular as well as multicellular organisms which have definite nucleus with a nuclear membrane. But why we have kept under separate kingdom? These fungi have cell wall. Just because they are having the cell wall, they cannot be kept under the plant kingdom because they cannot prepare their own food. Just because they cannot prepare their own food, they cannot be kept under animal kingdom because it has cell wall. So they are given a separate kingdom for this fungi. Okay. So we are going to see this next kingdom fungi, the structure. The plant body of fungi is made up of thin hair-like structure, cylindrical, called hypa. And these hypa together form mycelium. So plant body of fungi is called mycelium. The mass of hypa. Mycelium is made up of number of cylindrical structure called hypa. Each hypa, it may have the cross wall septate, it may not have the cross wall aseptate, and it has nucleus, and each, if it is having septate, it has nucleus in each segment, and it may be having more than one nuclei also. So that condition is phenocytic condition. That and all you will study in higher classes. Just I am mentioning, okay, when we are discussing about the structure. So plant body is called mycelium. It is made up of number of hypa, and hypa is thin hair-like cylindrical structure with septate, cross walls or without cross walls. Then if you take the unicellular, yeast is the example for unicellular fungi. It reproduces by budding, and here only one cell. Here number of cells, okay, form the hypa. So it is the example for multicellular. This one is bread mold. Okay. So here the hypa is of two types. It grows on bread. So it produces two different types of hypa. The hypa which penetrate into the bread rhizoids, and the hypa which are seen superficially are called stolon. And during reproduction, it produces sporangiophore, long erect structure called sporangiophore. Okay. So this is about the structure. Next comes the nutrition. Fungi, they are heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food. So how they will get their food? They may be either parasitic or saprophytic. If they depend upon the other living organisms, Microsporum furfur is a fungi which causes dandruff. It is living on our scalp. So it is a parasite. Okay, ringworm. The Microsporum species causes ringworm disease on the skin. So it is depending upon for the food. It is depending upon our body. Okay, so such fungi which depend upon the other living organism for food are called parasitic type of nutrition. They have parasitic type of nutrition. Then saprophytes, they live on the dead organic matter. They are saprophytic fungi. Then mycorrhiza, another important thing. The previous one we have seen, the root nodules of leguminous plants contain nitrogen fixing bacteria, symbiosis. Here Mycorrhiza, the fungi have the association with algae. Algae we are going to see next kingdom, plant kingdom. Okay, thallus of algae and the mycelium of the fungi together form lichen. Okay, and sometimes this mycorrhiza live in the roots of cypress plant. Okay, and it fixes the phosphorus in the soil. So symbiotic relation also seen in the fungi. Okay, so parasitic, saprophytic, and mycorrhizal. Then next comes the reproduction. How they reproduce? They reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Asexually, they reproduce through spores. Spores. When the vegetative structure, this hypha, rhizoids and stolon are fully developed, they produce erect structure called sporangiophore. At the tip of the sporangiophore, the nucleus divides and form a number of spores. When that is called sporangium. When the sporangium is filled with spores, it breaks and sends the spores out. When the spores are lightweight, if they are taken by the wind, when they reach the suitable condition, moisture, substratum to grow, it will germinate into a new hypha and then mycelium. It will carry on its work, its life. Okay, so this is how reproduction takes place. If you take this yeast, budding, it reproduces through budding. A small bud will appear and it will grow into a new cell. When it is fully developed, it gets detached and it can form its function individually. Okay, so this type of reproduction we can see in kingdom fungi. The next comes, the very important thing is economic importance. In bacteria we have seen useful bacteria and harmful bacteria. Here also we are going to see useful and harmful. Useful bacteria in industries, baking industries, bread. For the bread, while preparing bread, they will mix yeast with the wheat flour and keep it for fermentation. It produces an enzyme. That enzyme converts this carbohydrate in the wheat flour, carbohydrates into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is a gas. It will come out, try to come out. So that forms, when it comes to the surface, it will burst. That forms the spongy texture of the bread. Okay, if you keep the bread for 4 or 5 days, after that if you smell and see, it will have some alcoholic smell. Okay, sour taste. So that is due to the presence of residue of alcohol that has been produced during the baking of bread. Okay, so it is used in the baking industries, then brewing industries, preparation of the alcohol, and medicine. Cheese also, for preparation of cheese, it is used. Medicine, antibiotic. Antibiotic prevents the growth of pathogens. Okay, a good antibiotic, it should not produce much side effects, and it should kill that particular pathogen, and it should not produce any toxic substance. Okay, so all these are the characteristic features of the antibiotics. These antibiotics, if you get any disease, you will go to doctor, the doctor will prescribe the medicine. That medicine is nothing but antibiotic. Okay, the very simple example, famous example antibiotic is penicillin. Penicillin is extracted from the plant Penicillium notatum, fungi Penicillium notatum, and this penicillin is used for various control various diseases and common cold. It is controlled by penicillin. Okay, so that all these antibiotics are prepared with the help of this fungi, by using fungi. Then in food, mushroom. Mushroom is nothing but a fungi. Okay, so they used to cultivate mushroom and they will collect, package, sell. This mushroom contains more protein, calcium and immunity. It maintains our immunity. Okay. So this one is nothing but it's a fungi. Okay, agaricus. Food is mushroom. The next one is harmful. It causes diseases in plants, animals and human beings. In plants, red rot of sugarcane. When you buy sugarcane, while you are eating, in between you can see small red color patches. And the people used to say that patch will be more sweet. It is not like that. It is infected with the red rot of fungi, red rot of sugarcane, that one. Such pieces if you get, don't consume it. It will affect your digestive system. Then it causes diseases in animals and human beings. Microsporum furfur, already I said, dandruff, and athletic foot, tinea pedis, cause disease in athletic foot. Then ringworm, Microsporum species cause ringworm. That also disease caused by fungi. Okay, so it causes diseases. Then it spoils the food. Food spoilage. All the vegetables and the fruits, you can see yellow color or green color patches. Okay, that is nothing but growth of the fungi. So it produces some toxin which decay. It will make it decay and it will absorb the nutrients. So such food items we should not consume. We will get problem when we consume it. So spoilage, food spoilage also done by fungi. All these are the harmful activities of fungi. So we have useful as well as harmful activities in fungi. With this we are finishing kingdom fungi. We have seen the structure, nutrition, reproduction, then economic importance, useful fungi and harmful fungi. Next kingdom we are going to see kingdom plantae.